and this is conventional theory. Conventional theory is don't just send out a photo and write one little text string. Put some depth. If a picture tells 1,000 words, then in your writing, in your text string, use as much as you can.
Yeah.
Is more beneficial than always posting just the highest quality. Now it's different, I think, in your industry, right? So with modeling, with pageants, you're putting out photo shoot quality photos all the time, but you have access to them in comparison to other people and brands that don't have access to them. So why are you always obsessed with the quality side and not putting out more?
I feel like because the things that you need to share. I don't know. I'm agree with you
With
too.
both,
Because,
yeah.
because sometimes it's not about quality, it's about quantity, right? So you have to have more quantity, but because the algorithms and Instagram change a lot. So now Instagram actually shares the person who are more active, and then but quality, I think, with beautiful feet, people gonna come and follow you and actually gonna give you more likes and comments, and you're not gonna get more community in this way.
I think, sure, I think that's one perspective. I think the other perspective is that producing a ton of content that provides value to the audience is always going to beat the quality side. Now, I think you got it right, though. I think because you have access to photographers, because you have access to a lot of those photos, it creates the ability to put out a ton of quantity at the same time as they're all really good. But I do think that it's going to take a while, but it's still one of those things that people have to recognize, that producing more content of value is going to always outcompete one or two pieces of content that are perfect.
I'm agree and disagree because nowadays, like, everything is accessible. Like, even if you go on YouTube and you found apps who are these bloggers recommending you to get better photos, right? Because now everybody has smartphones, right?
We can all edit on our smartphones. We can all create good photos on our smartphones.
So why not take like 5 seconds more, like 10 seconds more to get better quality and like share, right?
You're right. And it's a combination. It's a combination of both, where at the end of the day, I think some people are pushing out quantity and they're rushing it a bit, but there's still limited resources for almost everybody, even yourself, right? Think of how long it takes for you to manage your Instagram account. Think of how long it takes for you to post to Facebook and help your friends to post for some of the other initiatives that you're in. It's a lot of work.
It is.
Right? So sometimes it's not that you have to take shortcuts. Don't ever take a shortcut online, but produce as much quantity as possible while using the tools that you have, like 4K on your phone, like good pictures, like the ability to edit and put it out. Use it. I find even on the iPhone now, you can use the when you're editing a photo, if you just click the autocorrect, it still comes out really good. But that's 10 seconds extra that you have to go in and edit that photo.
But why not do it? I feel like Instagram or Facebook or any social media sometimes is a fake vision or like the happiness way to show life. And everybody is out there like pushing the best way to look, the best way to do things, the best.
It's saturated. It's saturated. There's lots of them.
So why, if you are going to show the best of you or the best of what you can give into the people, why not take 10 seconds more to giving quality, right? So I feel like quality is important. But Instagram now has algorithms which saying about posting more, and I gonna give in your post to people, right? So
yeah. Well, we're rolling now, so I like this. So let's do the sound. We're with Mileydi today from Edmonton, and you are involved in the community. I see you at a lot of networking events, and in addition to that, you're involved in pageants and beauty pageants throughout the Edmonton area. You're going to Hong Kong soon, which is exciting. And we were just talking, or what I was excited about was we got into Instagram quickly because Instagram and pageants, Instagram and models, I mean, they're going hand in hand, and they have for a while. So I wanted to ask one of the questions today, right off the bat, from your perspective, what do models have to do now to not be part of the noise on Instagram? Right? Because at the end of the day, you see the perfect timelines, you see the perfect, you see the fake, right? So how do you be authentic to yourself as a model, as a mom on Instagram, trying to put out your content? What do you use, or what tools do you use to try to do that and stay real?
One of the things that's very important is the captions.
Yeah, right? The captions, the text strings that you use.
Descriptions. So it's if you can write something from your heart, enjoying yourself, just not just a photo. So eventually, if you can write something that make value to people, the giving value to people, there is when you're gonna make the difference from other models.
I like it. So essentially what you're saying is you put out, and this is conventional theory. Conventional theory is don't just send out a photo and write one little text string. Put some depth. If a picture tells 1,000 words, then in your writing, in your text string, use as much as you can.
Yes.
Right? Put your heart and soul, put your authenticity into that text string, and then people are going to stop, read, and connect with you more.
Yes.
Which helps you stand out. But at the end of the day, that brand validation, that's the ability to do that is pretty still commonplace. I think personally that models have to start doing things outside of perfection. We talked about quality, quantity earlier. Mm-hmm. I think the next step for models on Instagram, on TikTok, whatever platform they're on, is to show some of the normal. Okay. Right? To show some of the walking the dog, to show some of the out with kids. And they're not all just photos of a photographer out taking the kids out to the park with the perfect leaves falling. We're talking about real authenticity that people can connect with in combination with the model pics and the photo shoots and the pageant shots, all of those other things that come as part of it. So separating it a bit and creating this connection with people is going to make people and models specifically on Instagram stand out.
If we're gonna talk about Instagram platform, we have Insta Stories, right? So in Insta Stories, you actually can show yourself. You can blogging about what are you doing in the moment,
your day-to-day,
right? And then, but the feed, I think the feed has to be cleaned up. I think the feed has to be like perfect, these modelist photos. Why? I will explain you. You're a photographer. Mm-hmm. I'm a model. You come to me and say, okay, let's do a photo shoot. I like your feed. I like how you pose. I like how you look. You want to do photos? But he comes to me to say that because I have beautiful feet. Not because I just beautiful girl post regular photos.
I think it's a combination. I did a YouTube video on this a little while back, and I love this topic because the feed versus timeline debate. All right, so when you're looking at your timeline and then you're scrolling through the feed looking for content, the feed versus timeline debate is simple. Do people consume content and get inspired to follow you based on your content in feed, or do they get inspired to follow you based on the content in your timeline?
I think in time feed.
I think it's industry specific to a certain extent because theoretically for me, with marketing content, people are consuming it in feed. Mm-hmm. So what my timeline looks like is absolutely irrelevant to my content. My timeline for my personal page looks like it's all over the place. Yes. Then you go to our company, Magnolias, where people are looking at our ability to do graphic design. And it's well managed, right? Yeah. We've created a timeline that is connected together with pictures. Okay. Now, I'm not saying again, right? We tested out both conventional theories and for models, and I don't know. I think there's still a place for the authentic family shots. That's not perfect. Even a photographer, I think there's a place for a shot that's unedited, and then a shot right beside that's edited. so that people can see the difference in skill
Yeah.
set of what you produce that comes out raw and after you throw it through a Lightroom, right?
Actually, photographers are doing this right now. When they are giving value to their followers, I seen like they put the edit photo and then they swipe up and then they put like a small video explaining like how they edit it.
Yeah.
But
which is popular on TikTok right now too with
It's very
photographers. They show the process of taking the photo and then they show the final photo at the end. Which
yeah, but if we coming back to a model side, the model has to have clean fit. Like it's just it's sad to say, but
it's the industry standard.
It's like a society's prototypes, right? Like example in a beauty pageants, you have to be certain way, like in that type of body, like skinny, tall, like S type, right? So it's a prototype. Modeling is the same. Like, oh, it's not. Now the industry changed a lot. Now we see like models plus size, models are petite. Now models are African Americans. When before, like we not see these type of models, and now there are so many types of models in the industry. And now in the industry is getting more competitive because the social media platform opens doors to so many girls, right? Like so many. So now you see these different type of models. But at the same time, if we come back to my point of view about social media, has to be clean and has the authenticity.
Yeah. I think, well, okay, so yes, and first of all, from the standpoint of more models, that's amazing, right? Like the inclusivity in industry and how industry is changing is absolutely amazing.
Amazing.
And I think that's a combination too now that we have the ability through social to create the effect. You can go out, someone who has been undiscovered can start putting out tons of content. And again, we'll debate back and forth whether it has to be a perfect timeline or not, but they can put out tons of content and get discovered now through social media, where before that wasn't a possibility.
Absolutely, but at the same time, you have to be careful though, because so many people out there in social media are not real, right? So people are creating fake accounts to get to know this person, right? To get to know this modeling, and also photographers are not photographers, or models are not real models how they look in the photos, right? And then when you see the person, because makeup and all this stuff, they are not look they supposed to look.
Okay, so I'm going to take that a different direction. What do you think about the fact of the validation in the model industry where people go out and purchase their followers and purchase, I mean, they're taking every single shortcut that you can't take to validate themselves for that industry, and then try to get discovered with that validation, and still there's people out there that get tricked by that, right? When at the end of the day, a local pageant winner or a local model with 3,500 Instagram followers and great engagement in a community within their sphere within Edmonton has a lot more impact as an influencer for brands than somebody with 15 or 20,000 followers that has no engagement, that's faked it to that process. So I think there's a major shift coming where people that are going out and discovering models for pageants and models for brands and commercials and videos, that they look at the engagement, they look at how that person focuses on their area first and what their influencers are, and then finds those people to be part of their brands.
Right now in Edmonton, example, I just came to Edmonton 3 years ago, and I started modeling in beauty pageants a year ago. And what I've been discovering is like influencers are with 1,000 followers in Edmonton. So they actually already ambassador for a brands and everything. And this surprised me because back home in 4 years ago when I started social media, Instagram or whatever, you need to have certain amounts of followers to be ambassador, to be like promotional address, promotional something. And here in Edmonton, you have tons of followers, but you are already factory like a runway shows and all this stuff. So actually the brands call you and and give you things for exposure, for not sell for free, collaboration, right? So it's very impressive how Canadian Canadian influencers are very like out there,
Yeah,
even though they don't have the amounts of followers. So I don't know.
and I think that, well, the other thing too, I think that we can note is Edmonton's influencer community is hidden. It's under, like, people don't think it exists, but it exists. There is a ton of businesses. There's a ton of restaurants. There's a ton of food companies. There's a ton of workout facilities. There's so many different brands that use these influencers on a day-to-day basis within Edmonton.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't recognize that. They think that those influencers are only in New York. They're only in LA.
No,
that is not the case.
No, it's not.
It's absolutely here in Edmonton, in Alberta, in Canada. There is room for all brands to have regular people that have great influence on social media within their sphere, within the location of where that business represents themselves, that can use those influencers.
Yes, they are. Like I told you, I met this girl, she doing runways and fashion show and stuff like that. And then she, let's go follow. I want to see your Instagram, whatever. And then we started following each other. And me, I going for a 10K and she's like 1,000. But then these days, since the fashion show passed, I've been watching her Insta stories and stuff. And she's very, with so many brands, influence brands and all the stuff. And me like, wow. And because she's part of the agencies too. So it's like you don't have to have certain amounts of followers to influence on people. You can influence on people with 20, right?
100%.
1%.
I say that all of the time, and too many brands focus on people that only have 10,000 followers when they should be focusing on the person with 500 followers. It's all friends and family. It's all people that pay attention to that person's content and within the sphere where that business is. I use the example all the time of restaurants, but today I want to use a different one. Let's just say workout facilities.
Yeah.
Right? If a workout facility is posting to social media regularly, they're doing everything right, they're doing search engine ads, the only thing most are missing is the influencer program. All they need to do is they need to double down, they need to find 10, 20, 30, 100 influencers within the area of people that come to the gym. Offer them just a small discount.
Yeah.
And
or
then
like
post
even the
free
class and right away.
Something small. It doesn't cost that much. Something small, but something where they post to their Instagram feed and tag that workout facility.
Yeah.
It makes the biggest difference within your area where all of a sudden people that know those influencers want to go to that gym.
Yes.
Want to go sign up. So it works in so many industries where, and I do find, I think a lot of gyms tried the influencer, they felt it was costing them money, and then they axed the program. But what they should do.
But it's important doing investment, right? Because influencers and social media are investment, right? Like these girls, Marilyn's, no matter how many followers they have, is the ones gonna bring clients to the shop or the fitness facility. Right now, I'm an ambassador of one of them, and I got it like from somebody to somebody, and I went to this neighbor marketing, and they
friend of a friend got you in,
and they catch me, and they didn't know how many followers I had, but I've been influencing people lately, like because I've been so many activities, so people start to getting to know me, and now like eventually she say, oh, you want to be part of our project? And I say, yes, of course, like why not, right? And it's a huge opportunity. I got like 1 year to go to the fitness center for only I have to exposure them, right?
Again though, right, is at the end of the day, for most of restaurants that can offer a small discount, workout facilities that can offer a discount, a free class, a discount on membership, there's certain facilities that have a fixed cost. Businesses that have a fixed cost, that doesn't matter if an extra person comes, can offer fantastic small discounts to create an influencer program that has a massive impact on a geographical region.
I don't know if you see these days, like lately, like they giving like some code, and then they promotion an event, and then they give you a code, and the code actually show how many people you can influence.
True, but that is 100% the mistake that companies make, because at the end of the day, if you go on Instagram and you're at a workout facility and you post and 300 people see your story, okay, 300 impressions, not all 300 of those people are ready to go to a gym.
No.
You have to probably post a story once a week, twice a week for the next 2 years until people within your sphere start to decide to be part of that gym. So what people are doing, what businesses are doing, they're axing their influencer programs because they want a direct ROI when they should be wanting eyes and hearts and people to understand their brand, to trust their brand. And that comes with time and more impressions, more stories, more content, more influencers.
I believe in impressions. I believe in impression because of the numbers.
It's touch points. We say it all the time.
The numbers, so the people see your Insta story no matters either, because it's how many people take actions on that. Like when you tag somebody, when you are like actually mention the city where you are. So actually when they tag you there is when matters, right? To the client is giving you the opportunity to influence for their business, right? As when that point comes.
100, totally, absolutely. So I think businesses have to do that. I think we can both agree on that. I think it's coming. I think people are starting to understand it, but there's still too much focus on ROI and not enough focus on those touch points, those subconscious touch points that keep your brand top of mind until the people within your sphere are ready to come to you.
Yes.
Like I said, not everyone, I'm not ready to join a gym right now.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean I'm not going to be ready to join a gym 3 months from now.
Why not?
Well, that's a story for a different, my lady. We'll talk about that another day.
Yes, kidding.
We'll stick to the push-ups for now, and we'll leave it there.
I feel like everybody should be healthy.
Absolutely. Well, I got Yusuf coming. So Yusuf, I want to film this TikTok. You can start to. I'm going to bring up TikTok here.
Okay.
You want me to film like
just me?
You want me to film on the app?
I think so, because if we're going to use distorted, we're going to have to film on the app, right?
Okay.
So, are we ready?
I'm going to
I'm
start.
going to ask my lady this question, and we'll see what you say.
Okay, hold up.
Count me down.
3, 2, 1, go.
I think that people on Instagram right now that have been struggling to get by with organic should pivot all resources to TikTok tomorrow.
Okay.
How's that?
Well, let's see.
My choice is that you want to do it.
Have you, okay, so before as it's going, have you used TikTok yet?
I just opened it after because of you guys when I went to the show.
So listen, I've said this a couple times.
I always thinking TikTok is for kids though. I was having that in my mind.
That no longer is the case.
Yeah.
The kids were on, but now people are flooding in from every demographic. So that's a myth that I think that still is around, but it's quickly changing very fast as it scales. But the reason that we wanted to shoot that is I've said it in a couple of videos now. I've said it on YouTube, and I've said it. There's so many people that have dedicated 2 to 3 years on Instagram, put in all of their time, and the organic, because Instagram's at scale, the organic's down, so they just can't break through, right? And I think it's really important for people to recognize that when a platform is hot, it's more important to be on a platform when it's hot than when it's at scale.
I heard right now also about IG, the biggest in Insta is IG,
Yeah.
like
IGTV?
IGTV.
IGTV, yeah.
So I heard like actually right now not much people create content for that, and then you have to create IG for people actually come.
Well,
to see you.
IGTV is definitely more organic than just the feed.
The
If you're just posting under 1 minute, it's not the IGTV.
But I feel like it's a lot of more production and more time, and then you have to set up the time for make this video longer 2 minutes, and then for posting and get this organic way to traffic your audience, your community, your followers, however you wanna call them. But TikTok, I think is a great platform. I gonna start trying. I just have to.
You have to.
I just have to see what idea I would like to show.
Get on the For You page, start scrolling, start seeing what other people are doing. By what you watch, you're going to see more. You're going to see more of the models. You're going to see more of the people that are in pageants. And what that's going to do is you're going to be able to make your style, your authenticity, and follow some of those trends.
Yeah, it's not only about modeling. I can do also. I'm a mother too.
Mother, photography, you said?
Cooking too. I don't know. There's so many cool things you can do. Even comedian, right? Do funny stories.
Everything you said, photographer, cooking, mother, pageants, right? Modeling. Those
Comedy.
are all uber creative portions of life. And that's what thrives on TikTok. Right? Like we've been discovering it for a while now, and everyone's still resisting it. And at the end of the day, the reason I wanted to shoot that TikTok, we're going to do an effect on it after, is I keep saying over and over again, people that have been putting 2 years into Instagram, getting no organic traction, and putting all of their time into it, have to pivot.
So you recommend like go TikTok and create
everything. Drop Instagram,
and
go to TikTok.
But how do you get like community or fans, followers? How you create organic community in TikTok? Because you have to do like same kind follow and follow.
The same thing as you've ever done on any other platform, but the difference is you're going to be more creative and more fun and offer more value through TikTok. So the same thing, you have to answer every comment. You have to put out a ton of content. You have to put out quantity. We want the videos to have, they don't want to be grainy, you still want them to be good quality. You follow trends, you use hashtags, you comment on other people's posts. You do everything to be social, what social media is supposed to be to find success on TikTok like anything else. But it's hot. It's right now, it's at the top. And before it scales, I think people have to pivot every resource they put into Instagram straight to TikTok.
You know,
and it's tough. Like
I had a question because it's like everybody say, oh no, you have to like focus on one platform and maybe like move in another platform.
Put everything into TikTok.
I don't know if you know Lele Pons. Like Lele Pons is a girl in Venezuela and in LA, and she has like 50,000 millions followers, and she's been doing well, right? When she created her platform, her community, her fans, followers, whatever you want to call, like she created Envice, right? Envice actually dropped, like they closed the app, and then every influencer, it was Envice, like they stopped putting stuff, and then they moved themselves to Instagram, right? And then they growing because they keep creating content. But then other people went Facebook. Like if you see these motivators, like they share their content and get like 50,000 millions views in Facebook. So it's like, I don't know sometimes like what platform you should like create, or you actually, or you do, or you go in YouTube and sometimes you see these 10 million view, 10 billion view, and then.
Well, for us, it's very simple. And you can only focus on one platform because of how much effort and social media takes. And it doesn't matter what platform you choose. The platform you choose, you have to produce native content for. And I'll add one more layer on top of that. Choose the platform that's hot. Right? Choose the platform that's not at scale yet. That still gets organic, because then you're getting more interaction for the amount of resources and time you're putting in. And what that's going to do is you're going to be able to build up your audience and then transfer, just like any of the other influencers out there. They built up their audience on one platform, and then that audience navigated to find them on other platforms. So it's not that you can't have the other platforms.
But at the same time, sorry for interrupt you.
No,
at the same time, I heard it's about the geography, like geography, where you are located, right? Because if you go in and like researches and you do in Google, they say like Canada has influences in Facebook and Snapchat. So example, right now I get in my page on my fan page in Facebook. By my name and by my platform, and I got so much followers, like friends community. I got so much community in like 3 weeks, 1 week. So I noticed like sometimes, I don't know if it's because of the city, because of the country, some platforms work better than others. I don't know if you're right or
well, no, I don't think that. I think that every platform still allows your content, like the algorithms all put content based on geographical region. So for example, if I'm putting out Edmonton content, they're not going to show my Edmonton content to someone in the southern US. That doesn't make any sense. So all platforms, when you put out content, organically is going to go out to people that are interested in your product based on your geographical region. Same as Facebook.
No, but this wasn't my point. I think my point was like I think the platforms work depends on the geography, right? Like example, I don't know if the interesting of the people.
Tough to know. I don't have the answer for that.
Okay.
My lady. I don't know if Facebook is better because of it being in Edmonton and being in Canada, right? I don't think that's the case personally. I think that all platforms still are really good at showing which geographical region is, and then showing content to people that relate most or interact most with that content. It'll recommend it to people within your region based on who you know. And I think that some platforms are easier to build an audience on because of the nature of it. So for example, on Facebook, you focused on building your audience in that first couple weeks to your friends and to your family and people that knew you. Mm-hmm. So it exploded really quickly.
Yeah, but I'm kind of surprised because like, you know, Instagram, I've been doing like, even I started following people like in Edmonton and like follow each other and all this stuff. But eventually I feel like the interesting or it's different, right? So when I go in Facebook, I post one of my photos and I write in some beautiful captions, the things comments in my heart, and I got more connection with them than what I get in Instagram feed.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, it's my case right now. But I feel like you say, everybody has relative and everybody has interest in different platform. But when I asking people, what is your platform? What time you going? Like I ask it, right? Like sometimes my friends or my coworkers, and I ask, and they say Snapchat, Facebook, Snapchat, Facebook. So
it's a combination. It's different, and it keeps changing, right? Like, and that's why I brought up TikTok today, because TikTok is scaling so fast that next time you ask your coworkers, it's not going to be Snapchat and Facebook. It might be Snapchat and TikTok. It might be Instagram and TikTok. There's a correlation, and it's going to continually change, and it's just finding ways to stay on top of it. I think what matters though is if you're trying to get going and you're busy, right? You're a mother, you're going out and you're practicing for the pageants. Find the time that you can to develop content for social, and then still focus it on one platform.
yeah.
And then if you want, you can take that content and put it out onto other platforms, just to create a history on the other platforms, but know that you're making native content for one platform. For you, it's you're making native content for Instagram. Or if you're going to go after Facebook, you make native pictures and content for Facebook. And yes, it'll still look good on Instagram, but you're focusing on your Facebook audience and what you're creating.
Yes.
And then take that audience you build on that one platform, and it'll start to, that brand equity you build up will translate to the other platforms eventually. And almost every influencer out there did it that way. No influencer built their audience on all platforms simultaneously at the same time. Mm-hmm. It's always been someone hit it big on Twitter, someone hit it big on TikTok, someone hit it big on LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. They really did well and had a viral video on Facebook. And then it starts to transfer out. And it's a keynote. I think a lot of people make the mistake still of trying to do everything.
Yes.
Right? And doing nothing
at
native,
the same time.
doing nothing well for that platform. Mm-hmm. So it's just a note to
focus
consider.
on one platform. I think that's good. Yeah. That's a good point.
Try to do it the best, unless you have additional resources where you can execute more. So for myself, I execute YouTube and I execute TikTok, and all my other content is fed from those platforms.
Okay.
But I'm not putting all of the attention I have into Facebook. It's going into YouTube first.
Okay.
And it's just a byproduct of the resources that we have available, and it's a combination of a whole bunch of factors, and those are the ones that we chose to build our audience on. So it's an interesting process as we try to get going.
Keep going. Never
Keep
give
going.
up.
Never
give up.
And here's another note: it never ends.
Never ends.
Right? Like making this content, everything that we do, it's a never-ending, perpetual cycle. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but you're always chasing it. So don't expect to get there. And we can leave it there today because that was a fantastic place to stop.
Yeah, it's like they say, after the raining is coming a rainbow.
Yeah.
So why not, right?
Thank you, my lady, for coming out. I wish you the best of luck in Hong Kong in the pageant that you're going to, and I look forward to seeing you possibly in Miss Noble next year or at the networking events throughout the city. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Thank you.